In our lives, there are many moments when we focus only on what we do not have. We wake up every day thinking about what is missing: more money, more success, more comfort, more recognition. Slowly, without realizing it, this way of thinking begins to shape our emotions. We stop seeing the good around us. We stop appreciating the things that are already supporting us. Think about it for a moment. If a tree has no fruit, do we immediately call it useless? What about the cool shade it gives on a burning day, the shelter it provides from rain, the fresh air it offers with every breath? Today's story is about this exact mindset, a perspective that quietly steals our happiness, and how changing just one thought can turn hardship into meaning and gratitude into strength. Long ago, in a time of long journeys and uncertain roads, there lived two young men named Ethan and Lucas. They were from the same village, walked the same paths, but had very different hearts. Ethan was calm, patient, and thoughtful. He believed that every situation carried a lesson. Lucas was bold and quick-tempered. When things went wrong, frustration controlled his every word. Both had spent 3 long years working in a large city far away. 3 years of hard labor, of sacrifice, and of a silent, gnawing loneliness that only those far from home can truly understand. Every night, as the city noise faded, their hearts ached for home, to the village that lived in their memories. Finally, the day came to return, excitement mixed with a desperate impatience. But at the border of their land, their carriage driver suddenly stopped. He refused to go any further. He spoke of the forest ahead, warning of traps and paths that swallowed the unwary. Lucas erupted. He argued loudly, blaming the driver, blaming the carriage, blaming fate for this delay. Ethan said nothing. He simply looked at the dark trees and prepared for the walk. They continued on foot. The forest was thick and hauntingly silent. Hidden beneath the carpet of leaves were hunter traps. Every step had to be taken with deliberate, exhausting care. Fear followed. Hours passed. Their legs grew heavy with exhaustion. Their throats burned with a dry, unrelenting thirst. Yet the image of home, the warmth of their families, pushed them forward through the darkness. They reached the bank of a rushing river and their hearts sank. The bridge had been washed away by heavy rain. There was no turning back. They stood in silence, looking at the violent foam. They made the only choice they had: to swim. The current was strong, the water freezing. They fought with all their strength against the river's pull, finally dragging themselves to the other bank. Ethan fell to his knees, grateful to be alive, but Lucas looked around in fury. Their water bottle was gone, swept away by the current. Now they had a long journey ahead without a single drop to drink. As if fate wanted to test them further, dark clouds gathered above. A heavy rain began to fall. They ran desperately through the trees, searching for any shelter to protect their last dry clothes. By chance, they found a small hunter's hut hidden among the trees. Inside, the rain drummed against the roof. Lucas complained bitterly, listing every hardship as a curse. Ethan simply listened to his breath. They waited out the storm in silence. Lucas's words were filled with resentment for the driver, the river, and the rain. Ethan conserved his strength, knowing the journey was far from over. When the rain stopped around noon, they continued walking. Hunger twisted their stomachs. The sun burned fiercely now, reflecting off the damp leaves with a blinding intensity. Their endurance was thin. Just before reaching the distant villages, they collapsed beneath a massive tree. Its shade was cool and mercy-filled. They ate the last of their food and lay down, exhausted by the trial. Lucas spoke again, bitterness heavy in his voice. He looked at the tree and said it was useless, big and strong, yet without a single piece of fruit to offer a hungry traveler. Ethan remained silent. Then a deep, calm voice echoed around them. The tree spoke. It told of its hundreds of years of existence, watching the seasons turn, protecting the soil with its roots, and giving life to the forest. It reminded them that every creation has a purpose. Judging value by only what is missing blinds the heart to what is given. The forest grew still. Lucas trembled with a sudden fear and profound regret. With humility, Lucas apologized for his ungrateful words. He thanked the tree for opening his eyes, realizing for the first time how much he had ignored in his pursuit of what was absent. From that day on, both men carried a lesson greater than wealth. Life is like a basket of oranges. If one is rotten and we focus only on that, we will never enjoy the sweetness of the rest. Gratitude does not remove hardship, but it changes how we carry it. When we shift our perspective, even struggles begin to teach us. Sometimes what we call useless is the very thing supporting us. But let's look even closer. We measure happiness by absence, the money not earned, the success not reached. Slowly, this habit becomes a lens through which we see everything, forgetting the quiet gifts, the breath in our lungs, the strength in our bodies, the opportunities we wake up to. Think about the tree again. If it has no fruit, is it useless? Or do we fail to notice the air it cleans? Today's story is about this forgotten way of seeing, how gratitude can change the weight of life, and how a single shift in perspective can turn suffering into wisdom. Let us return to the journey. Long ago, Ethan and Lucas grew up walking the same roads, dreaming similar dreams. But as they grew older, their minds shaped differently. Ethan believed life happened for him. Lucas wanted results quickly. When life delayed Lucas, anger filled the gap. Both men left their village to work in a distant city, hoping to build a better future. 3 long years passed, years of exhaustion and silent loneliness. And every night, when the city grew quiet, both men thought of home. The excitement of returning was mixed with the impatience of 3 years of sacrifice. Finally, the day of departure arrived. At the edge of the forest, the driver stopped. He warned of danger, traps hidden beneath leaves, paths swallowed by shadows. Lucas erupted. Blame and resentment echoed in his voice. Ethan simply listened. With no other choice, they began walking. The forest closed around them. Twigs snapped like bones beneath their feet. The air felt heavy. Fear crept in, but the image of home pushed them forward. At the riverbank, hope nearly collapsed. The bridge was destroyed. The water rushed violently, carrying foam and debris. There was no turning back. They looked at each other in silence, knowing the risk. When they entered the water, the cold shocked their bodies. The current pulled at their legs, testing their strength. Exhaustion threatened to take them under, but with sheer will, they reached the other side. Ethan fell to the ground, grateful for life itself. Lucas looked around, and his anger returned. Their water was gone. The journey continued, but comfort did not. Fate had taken their last drop of hope. Then the sky darkened. Rain fell without mercy. They ran blindly, desperate to protect what little they had left. The hunter's hut they found felt like a miracle in the middle of a cursed forest. Inside, rain drummed against the roof while silence filled the space between them. Lucas complained bitterly, listing every hardship as proof fate was against him. Ethan listened to the rain. He waited. When the storm passed, the sun returned with burning intensity. Hunger weakened their steps. Just before the village came into view, they collapsed beneath a massive tree. Its shade felt like mercy. Lucas called the tree useless, and then the forest answered. The tree spoke of time, of roots that protect the land, of branches that shelter life unseen. It reminded them that purpose is not always visible. Lucas felt something break inside him. Shame replaced anger. Fear turned into understanding. In that moment, something shifted, not just in the forest, but within his heart. The lens had changed. When they reached home, they carried more than memories. They carried wisdom. They understood that life will always withhold something, but it will also always provide something else. What matters is the gaze. Life is like a basket of oranges. If one is rotten and we fixate on it, we miss the sweetness waiting beside it. Gratitude does not remove pain, but it teaches us how to carry it without breaking. And perhaps the greatest lesson of all is this. Sometimes the things we call useless are the very things keeping us standing. Look at your life today. What is keeping you standing? No narration. Take a deep breath and let the silence speak. Reflect on the fruitless trees in your life, the moments of shade, the quiet breaths, the strength you took for granted. Pause. Let gratitude be your strength. Pause. The journey continues.